Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbie with Believe in the Run.
This is Megan with Believe in the Run.
This is Carl with Believe in the Run.
Carl's here.
I am here.
Wow. You look, I'm not going to say much better than Jarrett, but
I think he looks fresh. You look refreshed considering that you've just traveled all over the world.
Yeah. I felt so greasy coming back home, but
Ooh, we all did. We kind of look like we had a layer of Europe on us.
yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, Robbie.
that makes sense. No, I know that feeling.
Yeah. It was like this greasy airplane air.
That film, just like that film.
The only other place I really get that heavy is like New York City. For some reason, when I'm in New York City.
New York City, within 2 hours, you got the grime.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, wow. I feel like it's been a little nuts.
Yeah. There's a little bit of globe trotting going on. If you're just tuning in, last week we recorded from a hotel room in Venice.
Robbie, people were pretty impressed with your mic, your fake mic hold for
you got to do that.
minutes.
Do it this time too.
You got to double fist.
Yeah. I made it count for the people. But yeah, we had some, I don't even know where to begin.
I mean, here's where we left off. We made it to Venice. We are getting ready to do Diadora stuff. And then like the actual stuff was going to happen. Like the first day we got there, when we shot the podcast, that was in the morning before like the real activity started.
Yeah. And we had lost our luggage, which we eventually did get back.
Dude, luggage gate was real for this trip for me.
Yeah,
Both trips.
Oh,
Megan
we'll get
lost
into
it a
that.
second time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was, I mean, we were basically wearing the same clothes for almost 3 days.
Sort of.
Carl was for 3 days.
I was for
I
sure.
actually was.
We went shopping,
No.
so we got a few things.
Oh, I got a clean t-shirt and some underwear.
I was trying to hold out, and then the last minute I folded, I caved,
What'd you end up
went
getting?
to H&M and bought some stuff.
Okay.
Just,
Oh yeah,
I
like a sweatshirt.
filed a claim with my credit card, so I'm hoping that my Southwest card, hoping I can
Nice.
get it back.
We didn't bother.
Yeah.
There's still time.
Yeah. I don't know. There's so much other stuff I got to do. I'm like, can I?
Yeah.
Anyway, so back
just talk
to
about
our
insurance
trip
claims.
in Venice, which feels honestly like 6 months ago now, but I think it was like a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had this really nice opening evening with them where they gave us lovely food, followed by
It kind of gave us an idea of where their
party?
brand's trying to go.
yeah.
Diadora has always had a special place in its heart for Venice. Venice is one of the symbols of Italian culture, of Italian beauty. It is the capital of our region. It is the capital of our very skillful sports district. It is the home city of the boss, which is also very important. This is the place me and my family call home.
I mean, so the whole thing behind the Diadora event, of which basically they invite media and then like running store owners,
Retailers, yeah.
yeah, retailers. They're showcasing their innovation and brand direction, and basically going into the future.
First of all, I'm really, really happy to have all of you here, and extremely proud after a long period of time to share with you the journey that we did, and Arsenal is a big opportunity to share, as said, with you the journey we did and most of the results that we achieved.
And of course, they're from Italy, so that's basically where they wanted to host it and show everyone.
And it was kind of interesting because they have like 2 things that are very important to them right now. One of them is supporting the local retailer, so they're not competing with them against them online. With online sales, they're trying to do everything they can to drive people into their partner stores and sell the shoe direct to the consumer that way. And then the other side of it is innovating and bringing back running and performance to the brand. So
Yeah, which we were doubtful of for some years. It's like their shoes are fine and everything like that, but then this like 2024 has been much better.
I feel like finally the foams, like the other ones were runnable, but now with the foams, we're starting to see actual performance shoes. I know that you did a little bit of exciting exploring after the meal. I opted out for 2 reasons. Was we were running Boston within less than a week before the event that you guys were going to do. I'm going to let you and Carl talk about the event. But and the other thing was the stupidity of waking up at 4 a.m. when we've been in Italy for a day. And
You're not wrong.
it's a 6-hour difference. So really, you weren't waking up at 4. You were waking up at what, 11 p.m.
Yeah, pretty much.
Our time to go for a run. Now, with that said, FOMO is real. I missed out.
Yeah, so there's this group from Milan that is called Mind the Gap, which I don't know where the name comes from because I thought there's always
Mind the Gap is a
tube.
Train. Yeah, the train.
the tube in London type thing. Maybe they say that in there too. I don't know.
But it'd be in Italian.
Yeah. So anyways, they do a lot of these underground races or unsanctioned races as they call them. And there's places in the US that do those like bridge runners, I think.
Faster Bastards.
Yeah, faster
Or like
bastards.
the speed project.
Summer Grit Run.
Speed Project,
That guy was there.
Out of Pocket Track Club, give them a shout out. But they so they do these races. Usually it's at night.
I think Out of Pocket's sanctioned.
No.
Aren't they? Don't they have the support of the track store and all that stuff? The Orlando Track Club.
They don't. Yeah. No, they just do it with. They get I think sponsorship from On.
Yeah,
But it's still unsanctioned. If you just do a race somewhere in the streets, it's not unsanctioned.
I mean, it is unless you have like the permits and
Yeah, there's no permits.
stuff. And you're sure about that?
Yeah, I'm positive.
But he told us what to say to the cops
Aldrin,
in the event.
if Aldrin,
What'd they tell you?
oh yeah. So, anyway, here they in Milan they usually do it at night, and so they brought it to Venice. They called it Mind the Canal for this one, and
Which you should, because that would suck.
Yeah, if you fall into there. So it was a sunrise run instead, and there was like 40 runners,
I'd say so, yeah.
and they did say if you run into the police, if anyone stops you, just like
You're on a training run,
yeah,
even though you have a bib.
throw out your bib.
Yeah.
And we took a boat from our hotel to like San Marco, and
See, that's the thing I don't think I didn't understand before I went there. I don't know
same.
if other people, that the Venice is like a system of little islands almost.
I still think it's not real.
Yeah, it seemed Disney-ish.
Yeah.
But
We were just on a bunch of Disney boat rides.
our hotel was on a tiny island that you had to take a boat over to. So not only that, for some reason we got unseasonably cold weather. So not only were you up at 4 a.m., it was cold. It was windy.
Was it raining?
It was supposed to rain.
It wasn't raining at that time. It was a pause in the rain.
No, but I did wake up in the middle of the night. It was like 3:30, and I heard rain just
Like
like
pouring.
slam in the
Yeah.
window, and I
You're
saw
like,
lightning.
"Great."
I was like, "Oh, great, Robbie!" I'm like, "This is gonna be great, dude."
I looked out the window much later, and it was so dark.
Yeah. I mean, it was really cold and windy, like, I don't know, 45 degrees.
I didn't bring anything either. I saw everyone go to the lobby. We had to meet at the lobby
Robbie
at 5.
doesn't
I
remember.
know, I remember.
And like everyone had a bag, and like I just came like race ready.
Yeah.
Like I just had my half tights on. I kind of just like was like wearing whatever, and like I saw everyone with like bags, and they're like, "Yeah, we have the boat the whole time. Like you leave a bag on there." And I'm like,
Yeah, for
"Oh."
sure.
Information
Yeah.
that would have been good
Yes.
before.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was pretty awesome going over there and then like it felt like you're on like Navy SEALs mission.
Dude, seriously,
like riding in the dark in
SWAT
this boat,
team, just like
getting dropped off at a point in Venice, and then all of a sudden, just like a bunch of other runners showed up. I have no idea where they came from.
They just came frolicking through,
It's just
the,
like
the bridge.
all
just
Italian
like,
runners, dressed like head to toe in Satisfy
like,
gear.
tatted out, like
that
just
sounds
like
right.
yeah.
This checks out.
Yeah, I'm
So
like,
cool.
That's half an American GDP on your body right there in the Satisfy gear. And essentially, they give you a map that there's like 5 checkpoints on it, and they had people waiting at these checkpoints for you to show up and then check off. It's a checkpoint on your map, and then you get to the finish or whatever, and then that's that. So we started the run, and it's kind of, they're like, don't get too close to the edges either because you'll slip and fall.
What do you think of this so far, Robbie?
Pretty awesome. So somewhat stressful. Trying not to get lost in Venice, but
keeps you running fast. Yeah, these stairs are killer though.
And it was pretty like
It
wet,
was pretty dicey.
and dicey. But
So, did anybody twist their ankle?
yeah, Carl, did anyone?
Yeah, surprisingly, it was me. I rolled it. It was a minor roll right before the first
Minor
checkpoint.
roll.
Like I saw the guy who was doing the marker, and I guess I was trying to get like to him quicker.
Boink.
Yeah, and there's just like that raise, all the cobblestones are there and
Dude,
stuff.
that's
so.
the other thing. Like the streets are not in the greatest condition.
Oh no.
Yeah, although I guess if you think about it, it's not that much different from Baltimore.
If you're in Fells
True.
Point.
Yeah, I was just trying to picture running through Fells Point, except they had much more stairs and other
Yeah.
little obstacles.
But I gotta say, it was running at sunrise through Venice, where the day before it was packed with tourists.
Yeah.
And there's nobody there. There's a couple people walking their dogs,
Some sanitation workers,
street
like,
sweepers.
yeah, but other than that,
and it was just almost eerie how empty it was, and it almost seemed impossible. And just running through those back alleys, cutting through, and those races are pretty awesome. I had never actually run one of those type checkpoint races, but you're really kind of sprinting or running as fast as you can from place to place, and then like getting lost and like trying to figure out where you are.
It
Yeah.
sounds like intervals. Like you go hard.
Yeah.
You get a rest for a second while you navigate
much.
or check in, and then you back to it.
Yeah, and so we were following some people for a time, and then it just kept splintering off.
every group just ended up separating because they you don't know where you're going. You just got to hit the checkpoint. Doesn't matter how you get there.
See, and I would have naturally just tried to find somebody who looked like they knew what they were doing.
Well,
That's what we tried.
That's what we tried to do, but then they would get lost because GPS is spotty, and no one's really from there. And even if you, it's so confusing.
No, that is a maze.
Yeah.
Venice is
Yeah.
a maze.
yeah, just walking around, I think we got lost. Like,
Well, we followed you into several back alleys that went to nowhere.
well, that was a crazy thing because of the water. All of a sudden, it can just turn into a dead end.
Yeah.
But it's not like a straight line where you can see it. It's like you have to go around a corner, and then it's like,
Yeah.
oh, there.
I feel like we learned very quickly, though, if it was a quiet street,
It's a
you
dead
don't go down that
it's a
one.
dead end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We also learned that porcelain masks are very popular.
very popular.
Like, I don't understand. Like, there's so many of those masks and mask shops.
Yeah,
They have to be selling a crap ton of
I
those.
don't, but yet I've never saw a
Yeah,
single
not a
person
soul
buy one.
is
Dude,
wearing them.
I will bet you if there's certain houses that you go into, maybe a little bit east of here,
It's like how people collect.
east and north,
People collect nutcrackers. They collect
doilies,
that.
Yeah.
you know,
masks.
spoons.
So they, so we hit the checkpoints on that race, and we were doing pretty well. Our GPS was actually somewhat accurate.
Yeah.
But then for the last two checkpoints, they both started with the word camp, which I don't
like
even
campo?
know. Campo or campy. So I accidentally. So originally when we started the race, I had put in all the checkpoints, and I was just like, I'll just follow that. But you know how like if you don't hit it directly, it like still sticks to that.
Yes.
So I had to cancel it out. And then I was trying to find the second last checkpoint, but I put in that last one, and ended up we got to the finish.
We got to the finish
Like
line.
the
They had the
first-
tape. We're like, yeah. And then like they all looked at us like, so did you hit all the checkpoints? Because we definitely came in from the opposite.
We were like
end.
way ahead of like other people.
Yeah, way faster people. And yeah, then they told us, oh no, you got to go to checkpoint.
Do you know?
5, so-
You know what's kind of hurtful about that? They looked at you and said, "No."
Yeah. Yeah.
How did they know you didn't hit the?
We also came from the
five?
wrong
They were-
direction.
They were the first,
that was the main thing.
but the first place people.
Yeah, it was first place, and we came from the wrong direction.
Yeah.
It was like there was some like 5-minute milers
Yeah.
in there, easy sub
Easy,
5.
yeah.
Kipchoge's running up. How'd these guys beat me to the finish?
Yeah. And so then we ran a whole extra mile.
It was like
more.
900 meters from where we were to the 5th checkpoint. So we had to do 900 there, then 900 back.
But also like the way we went was long, so it ended up just being. I think it was like a mile
It was
more.
close to
So we were dead last.
Yeah.
And there was like they were packing up.
oh yeah, there was no tape.
There's
for
no
us.
tape.
Everyone-
Oh,
yeah,
jeez.
everyone's-
You were almost first, and then now you're
Yeah.
last.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
But it was cool because one of the checkpoints, the second to last one, happened to be at that St. Mark's Plaza where
Right
it's
by the Basilica.
tourist central, you know? And there was 2 people
Oh,
there.
that's cool.
Completely empty.
One of them was a checkpoint guy, and then one was a photographer.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And it was very odd to see that.
What do you think of them charging people $5 to get on the
I was just
island?
going to bring
now?
that up. Yeah. The day
That's
I-
insane.
yeah. Well, apparently a lot of the Venetians are pretty upset about it because to them, it's like, it's not alleviating the problem of overcrowding and tourists. You're just turning it into a Disney because they're like, you're just charging admission now, but you're not actually, like, they're going to pay it, but it's not taking care of the problem that there's like, I think that said there's 10 million visitors a year to
I believe it.
10 or 20
totally
million,
makes-
maybe 20 million.
Do you know that the Baltimore Harbor, used to have as many visitors as Disney did?
That's wild.
Like when they first built it, it was massively popular, and people came from other states. Like when it was in its heyday, the Baltimore Harbor was something.
I do remember seeing photos where it was like crowds, like shoulder to shoulder.
The very first time I went, I remember it's like you couldn't move. It was kind of like in Venice.
Man,
But
imagine freaking out over a strip mall like that.
can you imagine though, like Venice becoming like the Baltimore Harbor?
Yeah, I mean, it was close. I can't even imagine what it's like in the summertime there, like in June.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Because we were there on off season, right?
Yeah.
And it was packed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We made the mistake with our no luggage of going over there in like, I was like, oh, it's sunny. I don't need my jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Got there, it rained. We were cold. Yeah.
That's because we waited it out and then bought an umbrella and then it stopped raining.
Oh, right.
So we were
Did-
soaking wet.
Wait, did you
for
bring
the
that
rest of the
umbrella
day.
home or did you?
I have it.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. That was our souvenir
got
from
it.
Yeah, there you go.
Venice.
The souvenir. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then, so that was, and then we got back from that run and I had breakfast and stuff. And I was so angry because I tried to take a nap and I still couldn't fall asleep. I only had 2.5 hours of sleep the night before. And I was so tired, I just could not fall asleep. And I was just like yelling. I'm like, like in the hotel room, I'm like, I'm so pissed. All I want to do is fall asleep. Why can't I fall asleep? I was like so
Probably 'cause you're
angry.
so making so much noise.
Yeah, it's part of it. Probably because I had 5-hour energy and like 3 coffees right before that.
Dude, we lived off of espresso and Prosecco
And desserts.
for 4 days.
Meats and
Like
cheeses.
I'm really having a problem with sugar withdrawal. Like when we were in Europe, everywhere we went, dessert was always available. I feel like you got to breakfast and there was orange juice, Prosecco, all kinds of pastries that were deliciously, like candy cooked. Like there was chocolate cake at breakfast.
Yeah.
Every morning.
cured meats.
And then at,
Asian
at
cheese.
lunch,
Cheeses, yeah.
there was the same stuff, like more coffee, more Prosecco. Like I don't think there's a meal that comes without Prosecco.
No, they also encourage that.
Yeah,
like
it's
they
like-
walked around after our Diadora headquarter tour at lunch and we were like pouring wine like we should be drinking.
Right.
And that was the one time where I was like, no,
I'll take one meal off.
yeah.
I felt like we were drinking the whole time, and yet there was at no point did I feel hungover in any
Or
way.
intoxicated.
Which is
Right.
freaks.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't get it, and then I'm like, why?
I think because the tiredness almost like trumped
you think
the
so?
alcohol. I'm not sure.
I want to know the science behind it because I could have a beer on a Thursday night and wake up hungover, but if I could drink Prosecco and red wine all day and
I
have
will
no
tell you
issues.
what it is. I believe that the amount of energy that we were spending walking around, going around,
I was gonna say
doing the
that.
runs, like we were burning up the fuel.
Okay.
Like if you sit on your couch and have a beer, your metabolism slowly digests the alcohol. So we were like going.
That's
Yeah.
next Featherstone Nutrition.
Yeah.
Can we do this?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, people already get mad if we talk
Yeah.
about it.
They don't like when we talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. The people who like alcohol are like, yes, thank you. The people who don't are like, you guys are going to kill people. Yeah, I guess.
Very polarizing topic.
I mean, Prosecco is basically Sprite, right?
That's what
Same thing.
Italian
Yeah.
Sprite.
Anyways,
it.
so and then we went that day. So then like, later that day, it did start actually gusting winds, pouring rain.
Yeah.
We were back at San Marco, right? Did we go back over? Yeah.
Well, that was for the Diadora had their innovation event.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the same.
yeah,
That was the same day.
The same day that you did the 4 a.m. run?
Yeah.
That
We went to
all
Arsenal
happened.
right after.
How did we go to San Marco 2 times?
That was the day before when it was actually nice out.
And then we went with you and Kimmy.
Yeah,
That was after you recorded last week.
yeah.
Okay.
So right
that's-
after we recorded last week's podcast.
All right, I'm
So we did
losing
actually
track
have a
already.
nice day, nice afternoon there. When it was like good weather.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to say something that's probably going to get me in trouble with people.
Oh, jeez.
gosh.
American pizza, much better than Italian pizza.
Yeah,
Carl, you can edit that part out. No, I mean, I see what you're saying.
I mean, I'm telling you, a pie in New York City versus the Venice pie.
I get it.
That we have. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean,
You don't.
I guess just maybe depends too. I don't know.
That
It's-
style of pie is just
It's
like
wood
nah.
fired pizza, so
Yeah.
it's like a little bit different and more sparse, maybe.
I don't know. Megan makes us pizzas on Fridays from scratch.
Yeah.
Better than Italian pizza.
Yeah. I mean, I went to Rita's the other night too, and I was like, yeah,
Snow cones.
it's actually pretty good. Get the gelati.
I was gonna say gelati. Yeah.
You got the gelati.
Dude, layer that. You can't go wrong. That is my one regret. I didn't get any.
I said
gelato.
that too.
I
I was
did.
like the one thing I
We got in the
didn't get.
airport.
Wait, didn't we get? Yeah, we did.
Oh,
Airport gelato.
Yeah.
And
that
honestly,
count?
you know
I-
what else? I got a sub from Di Pasquale's last night.
dude.
I don't think you can compete.
how you
I don't think
living
anywhere
like
in the
that?
world can compete with that.
I'm jealous. What did you get?
The real Italian. It's one of the best
Damn
subs in the world.
It is. That is my favorite
Yeah.
cold hoagie.
I
Sandwich.
got it before I went to the Orioles game, so just sitting
Oh,
there.
wow.
You went to the Orioles game yesterday?
Yeah, watching the.
How they doing?
O's. They won against the Yankees last night.
Oh, yeah.
That's all that
So
matters.
you had a nice Italian sub.
It was great.
Watched an incredible baseball game.
The tour of Italy
yeah.
continues.
What did you did you have prosecco at the game?
I didn't, but I had a Cronus. That's close enough. That's still another language.
Yeah. All right. We should probably talk about the innovation or the Arsenal. Which, by the way,
Arsenal.
I framed the little card that we got signed by Jalindo and them.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to take that into the office and we can put it
Oh,
up
I like
someplace.
that.
Yeah, looks cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they. Why don't you give a rundown, Meg? I
Of
feel
which
like I've
part?
been talking forever.
Just like when we
The
opened the
Arsenal,
door.
Yeah.
Of the headquarters? Of
No,
the
no,
factory?
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Innovation Day.
Oh, that was such a long day.
Do you want me-
You're
I
telling
could-
us.
I could do it if you need me to.
Yeah, go
It was
for
basically so they had this huge Arsenal is this. I mean, it sounds like what it is. It's an arsenal.
The first place that they assembled boats. It was they're saying it's the first assembly line.
Like
It
in the
was
world,
it
right?
was the
Which is
largest.
weird because I thought Henry Ford was the inventor of the assembly
Yeah,
line.
I think they're trying to steal that from us. Nice
Yeah,
try,
I
Italy.
think it was just a bunch of Italian dudes lined up.
Yeah,
That's all.
it was like, but they, it was the biggest like place for like pre-production,
ship.
pre-industrial revolution, kind of the biggest manufacturing place in the world, because Venice was kind of the capital of commerce back in the day, and so it's this huge old, almost like a warehouse building, and they
like a brick warehouse.
yeah, and they had demos and designs of like kind of a timeline of the history of Diadora and their technologies, what's where they came from, what's new, and then walked us through each individual model of shoe.
And they kind of had, well, it wasn't even necessarily model. It was feature of the shoe.
yeah,
And then they had a corresponding kind of like a modern art kinetic sculpture that correlated to it. So if they were showing you Rebound or something, there was like a kinetic sculpture video of, something that would represent Rebound.
and it was cool, like getting to see. And they had because some of the shoes they do make in house or in Italy, so they had a demo of somebody who actually works in their factory, like sewing the last and then putting the shoe together. It's kind of interesting to see that. But seeing the foams and the technologies and understanding how everything worked was pretty cool.
I mean, we geek out about foams and that kind of technology. I think there was people there that they were trying to demonstrate why they're making the choices they were for different shoes.
Yeah. And I think, because I feel like we knew most of what was already going into it anyways.
Yeah.
But P-backs, super
It was
critical.
kind of cool to like hear the whole history of the company too, though. Because
Yeah.
we got to kind of walk through that as well.
Yeah. Did you what about when they did the demonstration of the indoor athlete going?
You mean the guy who's the sprinter?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a track there, like a straightaway.
What was it, 100 meters?
I don't think it was quite 100. I think it was like 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you remember his name?
I don't.
But they had one of their athletes come and basically sprint for what felt like 3 seconds in front of us.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, that's fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was moving.
Yeah, fast guy.
Yeah. There he goes. They unveiled their latest shoe, which happened to be a jumping shoe, like a
Yeah, because they have an Olympian, an Italian
long jump.
long jumper.
Yeah.
Who she's going to be in Paris, I guess, running or jumping in this shoe. Anyways, so that was cool to see.
It was cool because it was kind of like a show. Like it was entertainment. There was projectors, putting movies up on the wall. There was the kinetic sculpture stuff. Everything was very curated and designed, which was nice. But then you juxtapose that to the next day when we actually went to the factory and we got to see some stuff that I thought was more actually compelling to actually watch it. But before we get there, let's talk a little bit about the evening after we did the Arsenal tour. All right, first check-in. We are getting out of those spring and winter months, and you may forget how much you sweat. So make sure that when you head out on these runs, maybe it's time to start carrying a bottle, especially if it's over like 70 degrees. Definitely have some hydration with you and stay thirsty.
All right. Sponsor of today's episode is new this month, Cheribundi.
Cheribundi, dude, this stuff rules.
Do you know why tart cherry stuff is good for you?
Because it just tastes good.
It's an anti-inflammatory.
Okay.
It reduces inflammation. It helps you sleep and recover faster because tart cherries are the most antioxidant-rich superfruit.
Is that real?
That is true.
That's facts.
I'll tell you what. You chill one of these on a hot summer day or spring day. Come back from a run, have a chilled tart Cheribundi. It's one of the best treats in life.
Do you ever
That's your
like cutting
jam?
it with water so that you can like make it go further
I just take it straight, no chaser.
from the pouch right
Have
to
you
the
put
face?
it in bubbly water yet?
No, I haven't. I don't think it would work in bubbly water.
Oh.
You need the sweetness, but they do recommend you can either take it straight from the pouch or you can mix it with some water. I do like mixing it with water because then you get the hydration in there too. And I just need sometimes a little something in my water to help it me be interested in drinking it.
Plus, you recover faster.
Yeah. This one that we have on the table here, this is the Sleep. It's got melatonin in it. They've got one that's more like regular.
Yeah,
and-
every day.
Yeah.
So you can go to cheribundi.com and use the code THEDROP to get 20% off. So go do that.
It was, if it had been a sunny day, it would be beautiful.
Sheesh, here we go.
But it was freezing. The winds were blowing. Rain was coming down. I think originally we were supposed to be like eating outside with like on this island that's gorgeous that has these giant sculptures on it and everything like that.
And it's like in a garden area.
Yeah.
It's called the Secret Garden.
Secret
Yeah,
garden.
the secret was you're not going to be in the garden. But so we get in there and we're all freezing. Like everybody is freezing. I felt bad for Diadora because here they are spending all this money to host us and have this big thing. And literally everybody in there is
Frozen.
freezing their ass off.
It was this tight spot. There's hundreds of people. We're serving dinner, I guess.
Yeah,
Is
that
what
was
it
dinner.
That ended up being dinner.
But it was like buffet style, and it was kind of like what we had been eating for every meal, which is like cheeses and cured
meats,
meats and
some pasta. Yeah.
I wasn't hating on
no,
it.
it was great. I mean,
Tiramisu.
Tiramisu.
Yeah.
I went.
That was really good.
I went in the paint with the tiramisu a little too hard.
Yeah.
They also had cocktails along with prosecco, obviously.
Yep.
But there was a point where you just saw, like, I think people had their, okay, I want off this island. I want to get back into.
And we should note that there was hundreds of people at this event, and that one boat could only hold 8 people at a time.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. Like, Venice is beautiful, but I imagine if you had to live there, you would go nuts because everything moves at a different pace with the boats. You're not going that fast.
Well, if a big storm comes through, I mean, that's it. Like, you're not getting off that island.
Yeah.
Not quickly.
So
And the originally we weren't supposed to leave till 10:30.
Correct.
And this is like 7:30.
yeah, and everybody's kind of sneaking off. You just kind of see the groups of 3 were just kind of disappearing from the tent, and then we
We knew something was up.
yeah, and then we found out there's some people jumping on boats.
Yeah.
Boats
to
were
get
coming
back.
before 10:30.
Now we went back and it starts raining pretty hard, and everybody is cold.
Dude,
Everybody's
not hard. This
complaining.
is one of the crazier storms I've ever been in.
He just happened to show up, so we're trying to beg.
We're not sure.
We are begging him.
Dude, it's so cold and wet right now. We are dying out
It's
here.
also very windy. This is like the windiest part of
Dude, this is horrendous. As far as it wasn't a thunderstorm, but the winds.
I agree.
And the rain were sideways.
Well, that one section that's right outside the building where we enter, it's like a wind tunnel of just like epic proportion.
So we run out of there thinking we're going to find a boat, and we run down this dock, and this boat is pulling up like it's going to pick us
He
up.
just liked watching us
So
stand in
we're
the
waving
rain.
our arms and getting excited, and then we realize he's never picking us up.
yeah, he's just sitting there. I'm like,
So we go
He was definitely
inside,
scared of us.
and they're kind of making a list of people by first come, first
yeah.
serve basis. So we get there and we see the sheet. There's one boat already filled up. We fill the next one, so we should have been boat number 2.
Yeah.
Okay?
We were technically boat number 2.
Yeah.
We were technically boat number 2. What we didn't know is they put in a secret boat number 2 before us.
Well, yeah, because then,
Why did that happen?
okay. So
We don't
it's-
need to go into
first.
this.
It
I think
start, first, the building started getting more crowded, and then it started getting that Lord of the Flies feel.
Firefly Festival.
Or
No,
Firefly, Firefly, lots of
I
flies.
said Lord of the Flies. Like there was somebody's glasses were going to get
Very
stolen.
much a Firefly Festival
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
There was panic.
And so, what were you saying? Someone's glasses were?
You know, Piggy's glasses were going to get stolen.
Yeah.
Someone's going to start a fire.
And so because one boat came and then it was like, what, 20 minutes,
Like
half
30,
an hour
yeah.
before any.
And you see everybody eyeing each other.
Yeah.
Like, are you
Like-
on the next one?
And then I see a certain, I don't even know how to describe this because I don't want to throw anyone under the bus.
Would you say an Italian Karen?
Yeah, I'd say that's about right. I'm not going to say who
Good
it
description.
was. I'm not going to out this person.
No, because they have a medal on the line.
Yeah, but I've seen this person previously an hour earlier cut the food line, and
So
doing
you're
my
saying you're setting up a, it's not a situational, it's a dispositional.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
and doing my best not to be Larry David and call them out on it. And so then I see this same individual with their, what do you call it? I don't know, entourage come into the building where we're all waiting for the boats.
And you can tell what's going on. It's a different language. She's speaking Italian.
Facial expressions are a
But
universal
they
language.
are looking at the list and kind of bickering back and forth with the person keeping the list.
And you can see him, like the person with the list is trying to hold fast and tell them, no, there's rules, there's order. And this person is just digging it, like going.
Not for me, there isn't. You are going to put me on the next bus and you're going to do it with my friend and screw everybody
And
else.
then you see them
Walk out the door.
walk out the door and take a left towards where the boats are. And they
Never
we
saw
wait,
them again.
we wait another half hour.
So they definitely, this person of sport at some point in their lives ended up cutting the line. It's questionable ethics.
Hijacking a boat.
Yeah.
But we made it onto the boat number 2, and
did.
we were all in a state of like, I don't know what, have
Yeah.
been drinking all day,
yeah.
it
cold,
was all-
laughing.
We were
It
so
was-
happy to be on the boat that
Yeah.
we got a little rambunctious.
Yeah, I don't think the two Polish gentlemen on the boat were equally as thrilled.
Yeah,
I think
because
they loved it.
the next
so?
morning
I think they liked it.
We started chanting boat number 2. Boat
Yeah.
number 2.
Yeah.
Um,
To think that was the
Anyways. And
same
then
day. That was
we-
the same day that we ran
Yeah.
in the morning, Robbie.
know.
Do you know what's
So-
crazy?
insane.
We almost left Kimmy there.
oh, yeah.
At one point on the boat, Thomas freaked out and screamed, "Kimmy!"
That was my wife, and she
Because
was.
I thought we left her.
She was right,
right
next
there.
to Robbie.
Yeah,
Right
sitting
there.
directly across from
I thought we had
Thomas.
accidentally left her on the island.
Oh man, but yeah, so that was for sure an interesting evening.
The view from the top of the one building that we were in,
Yeah,
that was pretty sick.
That was cool.
So you climbed all the way to the top, and from that vantage point, you could pretty much see all of Venice.
yeah. I'm pretty sure that's where they looked out for enemy ships coming in.
Yeah.
But then, so then next day we ended up leaving the Venice area and going up to, I don't even know, Serrano's I think it just says on my shirt. Serrano di San Marco,
That's probably close.
which is where the, actually is what it is. But that's where the Diadora headquarters is. And we got to check that out.
I was impressed. Like
The factory was really cool. Like
Yeah.
to see people actually putting together the shoes was
Especially
cool.
like the juxtaposition. So a couple days later, we're doing a tour of the Adidas headquarters,
Yeah.
which is
Massive.
obviously,
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
that scale is
massive.
just, yeah.
but the Diadora, there's something that was so quaint and charming about the Diadora headquarters and their little museum they set up. And, but I definitely felt like it was like, as a kid, you know, somebody makes your hamburgers at McDonald's, but you never get to walk back into the kitchen and see it being prepared or whatever. And when we got to go, it was definitely a highlight for me of like all time, not just the trip, but going back there and watching from start to finish someone build.
It felt like you were in an episode of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood when they go on the field trips, like to the Crayola factory. That was always my dream.
All right, Carl, so we just saw the whole process of shoe going from like start to finish, from being molded and put on the thing. Robbie, what did you think of, like, I didn't even expect this.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty awesome seeing everything literally from start to finish. From putting on the last to putting on the outsole to boxing it up, and just seeing how they take the time to actually do it instead of like
Like the fact that it's not like a, like they said that it takes 45 seconds just to mold the heel cup so that it's more durable, and they were like, normally another shoe company, 45 seconds the shoe would already be completed from start to finish. What did you think, babe?
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. They say like, you know, made in Italy and it's like touched by hands, but like every step of the way there's a human checking it. And
all I want to do is like grab a fresh pair,
I
like
know.
off the line, still warm.
How much did these make you want a pair of these collabs that are happening?
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
So
it was awesome.
it's cool to see that. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, just getting to see the behind the scenes. And it is, I mean, I grew up in the 90s when, as a kid, that was Diadora's peak. So
For soccer?
for soccer.
Yeah.
So if you played soccer and you got the Eurosport catalog, it's like Umbro, Diadora, that was the peak, you know? And if you're all the cool kids had that. I did not.
Yeah, something to mention though is like between those two periods, the ownership. So it was always Diadora's family owned, and at a certain point, I think they over leveraged or something.
Yeah.
And Geox came in and is now the parent company for them, which is still, I don't know how big they are, but it's European.
Yeah.
And it was pretty rad. And it turns out, I think they own like most of this town there. And when we went to dinner, we actually went to
I
a
think
place that
yeah.
was owned by them, right?
I think it's kind of like how Under Armour,
Has
maybe
a
like
Sagamore
Kevin Plank.
Pendry.
Yeah, like Kevin Plank owns a bunch of different side hustles.
Yeah.
Which is cool
The Mary,
sometimes.
Mary Plankster. So what was the name of the place? Sandy something?
The where?
Where we had dinner.
I forget. I just wrote it yesterday.
what was nice
Sando
is
Villa or
we
something
went
like that.
back to our hotel after the tour and went for a run with some friends that we met
Craig
from
and Corey.
Gear Junkie and Outside
Mm-hmm.
magazine.
And we rode.
We found
talk
a
about
track.
An unsanctioned track.
Yeah.
We did an unsanctioned 400.
Oh yeah.
And then promptly got kicked off of said track.
That was cool to get kicked off of a
In
track
Italian.
in Italy.
Yeah,
that was the
that's
best
pretty
part
cool.
is they thought we were Italian. So they started talking to us.
They asked if you spoke English.
Yeah.
Little did they know you just spoke a little bit of it.
Yeah. I was like, I see.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And then we finished with the dinner with some friends. And that was pretty awesome.
Dude, that place was sick. It was
Yeah.
so, I mean, it
Yeah.
looked like, I don't know if you've been to like Vail, Colorado or some of the ski towns.
Okay, I
It
haven't.
has
really.
kind of, I think they model it after those European things. So this little place looked like almost like a ski resort building. Like it was like a stone and wood with a beautiful little garden around it.
It was nice.
Ate up. That was some good food too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the bathroom signs there, very entertaining.
Did you keep records of all of them?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll give you the
Okay.
photos of those.
Where was it where there was like, don't stand on the toilet?
That was actually Germany.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, like
Yeah,
do an upper
there's-
decker?
There's like, yeah, pretty much. There's a picture of someone standing on a toilet squatting. And they're like, eh. They're like, yes. And it shows someone sitting on the toilet.
We realized these signs in Italy were trying to explain to you that there's like an automated flush system. So if you just walk away for
Like the
15
sensor.
seconds.
But the sign
the
looked like it was
sign
just
was
telling you to
like-
take your shit and get out of here.
It was very, very entertaining.
That's awesome.
Leave.
Yeah, we had a good chuckle over this.
Yeah.
When we were driving back, the bus driver, and I'm sure this is how it is in Europe, but it was a big coach bus, and he's driving it stick. And I was like,
wow.
That's
Oh, I didn't realize.
yeah. I was like, that is awesome. Like, imagine that.
I didn't realize that really the UK is the only people throwing the steering wheel on the other side.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Like, why are they doing that? Like, at this point, it's
Yeah,
like,
they
why are you
give us
making-
shade for the metric system. Think about your road system.
But it's also like all the car manufacturers have to make a special car for you.
Right.
Flip things around. That's engineering. That's all that stuff. Why? I mean, even if you want to stay on that side of the road, why not have your steering wheel?
Good question.
I don't know.
Yeah, because I was trying to think of the drive-through window. How do drive-through windows work there?
Well, you're going the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we go counterclockwise. They just go clockwise.
Yeah. Whatever.
And the toilet flushes the same way?
That's Australia.
Is that fake? Is that real? That the toilet flushes differently in
I
the
believe
southern
that.
hemisphere?
That's
you
not
can
real.
Google me. I believe it's real.
Okay. I'm gonna choose to believe it's real, whether or not it is.
Look
Because I'm
up.
just gonna want to tell my kids that.
Yeah.
Keep the tradition alive.
I mean, here's the thing. It doesn't make a difference. The poop still goes.
Yeah. We have a lot of Australian listeners. Let us know in the comments.
Well, how would they know if theirs goes the other way? They're not up here.
That's a good point.
Like, to them, it's the
Do
right
you
way.
want
It's
to know?
just normal.
Do you want to know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a myth.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't want to know.
Yeah.
You guys spoke for me.
Wait, let me ask you a question. It could be a myth, but maybe they make their toilets go that way. Like, how do we know?
No, so the air spins different in different directions based on the hemisphere you're in, I guess. So it's different over there, but they're saying the amount of water is so small that it doesn't actually affect it.
Well, they haven't seen my bowl.
Yeah. I want to invent a bowl that actually. I want to invent a toilet bowl that actually does do that, just so everyone can.
What a dream.
You know, it'll be like a washing machine with a spin cycle.
Yeah. There's probably a big market for that.
Probably is. Like, get your clothes done while. It's
Yeah.
the same. Yeah.
Be like, do you want to be a part of this oral tradition that says the toilet spins the other way? You can have this toilet for $200 down payment.
Okay.
Okay.
No.
And I will tell you, in our
call it.
travels, I still think Japanese toilets are the best in the
Of
world.
course you do.
Well, yeah, they have whole video game consoles next to them.
Yeah. In Italy, though, they had the side toilet with the hose in it.
That honestly, the simplicity was too confusing for me.
That's what I said. I had no idea how to use it.
It's a you know here's the thing. I think you're supposed to use your hands a lot.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
Like Japan has it right. It's like hands free,
Yeah.
do your thing. For real though, how many buttons are on a Japan controller where I feel like you could spend most of your life figuring out the functions on that?
They have like a music player and like
Yeah.
A little thing that shot some powder on you. At the end.
Okay, anyway, let's move on.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure like a waiter will come if you press one of those and just start serving you.
It's a little robot. A little robot.
Serving you after dinner mints. Anyways,
So we end up parting ways with Robbie at this point.
Yeah. Robbie
it
and
was
Kimmy.
a sad day.
It was.
By the way, thanks for giving up your seats because we did actually get those.
That's awesome.
That's how you got on?
Yeah.
Nice.
It turns out someone discovered the day of our flights that they had canceled my flight home because Delta said I never checked in for my first flight to Europe. And so they had to book me on a later flight, but because Thomas and Megan were going to Germany, they were able to cancel theirs. We could get their seats, pick them up. All was good.
It was a little sad breaking up the team,
Yeah.
but we still had Carl.
Yeah.
That is true.
He's worth something.
Oh, he definitely. He was great.
Yeah,
if he
because
could have grown a mustache real quick, I don't think anybody would have known you weren't there.
could have started a week ahead of time.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
We should have just put a mustache on you and be like, "That's Robbie. I don't know what you're talking about."
What was nice too about our transition is that there was
Transition.
zero downtime from Italy to Germany. We landed and then went straight to a group
Are you
run.
serious?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got to the hotel like at 3:10, 3:15, got
And
changed.
Wait,
had a
were we
group run
delayed?
it for
Was our flight delayed?
our flight wasn't. It might have been delayed by like 20 minutes, so it wasn't a big deal. But so Robbie, you missed out on
Bag gate 2.
Bag Gate 2, but also we were what's the word I'm looking for?
Homeless and tired.
Catfished by the airplane. So you go to your gate and they walk you down like you're going to get on an airplane.
Oh, this was
and
the
then
worst.
they pile you into
No,
a
no, no.
bus.
Okay, so wait. So you're not describing it correctly. So we land in, now I'm going to give it to you. We land in Frankfurt, right?
Correct.
And we have a gate that is as far away from us as you could possibly get in
It was
this
probably
airport.
a mile and a half walk.
Yeah.
So we jet down there. We get to the gate. We think we're getting on a plane. We come down. They put you on a bus. And the bus has everybody that's going to be in your plane. So it's one of those double long
Like
buses.
you are like packed in like
Did you
sardines.
think you were getting traffic?
Standing room only.
I
Yeah.
think you're getting traffic.
I was like, why are there stairs going down? We should be
Yeah.
going straight.
Honestly,
And
if that happened to me in Germany, considering past, I would not be excited about that.
All right.
Sounds.
I didn't think about it.
Yeah,
but yeah.
if you think about it that way, not
Yeah.
cool.
So you get on this bus. It drove us all the way back to where we came from.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
To get on another plane over where we started.
and I'm going to tell you, on a tight bus where you're packed in like that and you can just smell the person's breath on your neck, like it was like,
Wait.
I was like losing my mind.
It was pretty bad.
But
What?
you know what you want to eat after?
What
you
was
get
the
a
hold on?
bus
What
like
was
that?
the purpose of this bus? I just don't understand.
So it's the airport is so big that I guess they don't have enough space to line up all the airplanes along the gates.
Okay.
So they have some lined on the runway.
Just like a parking
You
So
lot.
take you like the stair runway.
Okay.
So you
Oh,
take
wow.
a bus to the plane that's on the middle of the airway.
It's like
Or the-
parking spots for
yeah.
Yeah.
planes. Yeah.
So, but it also defeats the purpose of having a lineup. Like
Yeah.
we're calling group one
Right.
for what?
It didn't matter.
So
it
you
didn't matter.
pack
Yeah,
into
because
a bus
once you got
faster?
off the bus, it was like a mad dash
Yeah.
to the plane.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the flight from Frankfurt to Nuremberg was 25 minutes long.
But you know what you want to eat when you've been packed and people are breathing on you and stuff?
anchovies.
Smoked
Salmon.
salmon,
Oh,
on
really?
something questionable.
Yeah, on like liver pate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that was probably what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still ate it.
I
but
ate it too.
Here's the thing. We get up in the air. They gave us the food. They gave us a drink. And then they're like, can I have it back?
Yeah, they're
It
like,
was-
they're
it's
hurry
like
up.
2 minutes, dude. It was like they gave you everything. I got a coffee and a sparkling water. So like,
Carl was so upset when they were taking his coffee.
dude, I was like, and then like literally, I think I devoured the meal or whatever. But I was like working on the coffee, and then they were like, "Sorry, sir, you have to like put the tray table up. We're getting ready to land." I'm like, then why did you give it to us?
Yeah, the fact they served anything was absolutely outrageous.
Yeah.
Like, there was no need for that.
Yeah, I'll take it, but I mean, I don't know.
So yeah, but then we land in Nuremberg. The lovely people of Adidas were there to scoop us up and take us to the hotel where we checked in.
We each had our own room, and
Yeah.
on the mirror,
Wait,
they
you guys
wrote-
are separate?
yeah, they
Nice.
wrote, well, it did end up working nicely. But the
And now you're sleeping in different bedrooms.
Yeah.
I know.
I kicked
You're
him
like,
out.
We're doing this forever.
This is our life now.
we got there and they had your name written on the mirror, and on your bed, Carl, what'd they have?
Like Bloody Mary written in
Yeah.
the mirror?
Yeah.
but
Basically.
like
Exactly like
hey,
that.
everybody,
But a lot friendlier.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice
okay.
like
words.
less murder, more
Okay.
Yeah.
celebrate. What was on your bed, Carl?
Just a nice spread of Adidas gear, especially given the temperature and that I didn't really have like a big jacket.
Dude, they gave us giant puffers.
Dude,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
like
was nice.
everything
Shit,
that you
dude.
need.
Now I'm kind of
They gave us the new colorway, that colorway basically. We got the Takumi
Takumi Sen.
Sens.
Everybody's running Takumi Sen. It was a big Takumi Sen weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they good move, but their best shoe.
They
Yeah.
gave us personalized. The green shirt had like
had
your
our name
name
on
on the
it.
back. Yeah, it was
Jeez.
nice.
2 pairs of shorts.
Yeah,
Uh,
the half tights with
Tights.
the
Yeah.
those were really cool.
What? The
The white jacket was cool, like the nice little
Oh,
windbreaker.
and a gilet.
yeah,
Like a vest?
The vest,
there
yeah.
you go.
I got a really nice pair of tights that I wore like for
Backwards.
2 days in a row, completely backwards.
Nice.
And I didn't realize it until like the last day I was wearing them.
And you saw somebody wearing them, right?
That's a
because
Robbie
the
move.
stripes were in the back.
It
brought us
They were
back to
supposed be in the
Orlando for
front,
sure.
And I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
So like a
Solid.
good hookup,
Excellent.
and then we get downstairs and we're gonna do a group run.
A
That's
tour.
a tour of
Yeah.
Nuremberg, and my new best buddy, Patrick Flieger, who is a ex-pro runner for
Are you saying Philip?
Philip. I did. I kept calling him Patrick. I kept wanting to call him Patrick.
Is that his name?
Philip
It's
Flieger.
Patrick.
You asked him
Philip.
at dinner too.
I know. I did.
I like that you called him your best friend and then the wrong name.
It's just lost in translation. Yeah, Philip Flieger, who is a pro
Marathoner.
marathoner.
For Adidas, yeah.
Yeah, he's very handsome. You don't want. I got a couple pictures where I'm standing next to him. I'm like, damn it,
He's the sweetest man in the world.
He's
too.
ruining my luck. Yeah, he was actually very welcoming. Showed us the city. Him and another guy. I don't remember the other guy's name.
But they're both like very funny and we
Funny for
stopped,
Germans.
We stopped like, I don't know, every 30 seconds to 5 minutes.
I mean, they did warn us it wasn't going to be like a 5K run. It's
Yeah.
more like you're running for a bit, you're stopping,
How
you're
much did
checking
it
out the
feel
sites.
like the Bridge the Gap?
Well, the roads we were on definitely
Yeah.
it started off on, but I mean, it was sort of the same kind of thing.
And it was the same thing. Like you felt so tired getting off the plane. I was like, "There's no way I can run. I don't want to do this."
We were
Whatever.
originally going to skip the run.
Yeah, and as soon as we got out there, it was like I took one of Robbie's 5-hour energies. Like I was like pumped up.
it was
And
so
the
nice.
city's beautiful.
Yeah.
Really, just gorgeous architecture
looked-
everywhere.
It did look pretty rad.
Yeah,
It was
Give it
very
that.
cool.
So was that place leveled in World War II?
Yeah,
And so they rebuilt it?
yeah.
I mean, they did a good job.
They did because you would think that nothing ever happened.
All made out of sandstone. Everything.
that was a big thing.
They
there,
did tell one story about the tunnels underneath of the castle. They're like, we hid all our art there, and I'm like, your art?
Yeah. Let's get the real truth here. He should have been like, let's reclaim that.
All right, second check-in. Also, we're getting into those months where you start to shed the clothes and you need something lighter, more breathable. There's a couple tricks you can try, but I always like just, as soon as it gets warm enough, dropping down to the lightest materials, and then eventually, if you're brave enough, you can take that shirt off. Even if you just have a sports bra underneath, it works too. All right, let's take a little hydration break, Meg.
Today's sponsor is, again, LMNT.
I'm drinking it right now.
We love drinking it all the time. Thomas is drinking it right now. And some of the benefits of the electrolyte beverage are that it maintains steady energy, it improves your cognitive function, you suffer from fewer headaches, which Robbie can attest to.
100%. It's a game changer in that department after a long run.
You experience fewer muscle cramps, which I can attest to for sure. And it helps your performance in general.
Yeah, and I've got a couple special recipes for you. Definitely try mixing it with club soda or sparkling. What do you call it? Seltzer water?
Sparkling water.
Yeah.
Yeah, try it with that over ice. Pretty good.
It's a nice treat.
If you want a little hydration treat and a little kick, you can even mix this with a little bit of vodka or tequila. Make your own ranch water. It's pretty good. But I use it for pretty much everything.
All right. And if you want to get some LMNT yourself, you can actually get a free sample pack with any order if you use our link, which is drinklmnt.com/thedrop.
Now back to the show.
I forgot to mention, I was glad that I had all of that stuff to wear to the run because my bag did not make it again. So the boys both got their bags,
really?
which was amazing because
Shout out to
Thomas checked in his bag, then I checked in my bag, and then Carl checked in his bag, and mine went missing.
Well, here's the problem with Meg's bag. When we finally did get it back, it had a belt around it. I think
So
her
the
bag.
zipper broke. And I think what happened is when they were trying to put onto the second plane, they were like, we need to make sure this is secure. So they strapped
Pulled it
something
off.
around it,
Yeah.
and it didn't make it.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Ortlieb indeed. Those heavy duty zippers.
Dude, the organizational capacity for the bag is not that great, but the overall capacity for the bag and the smooth wheels,
Yeah.
I love that thing.
It's hard to beat.
Yeah. Well, we ended up buying Megan a new suitcase
Yeah.
while we were out there.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there wasn't an Ortlieb store, but she's got a nice
Which
set
is
of-
interesting because Ortlieb is a German brand.
I mean, maybe there's.
There might have been.
We went to the first place that we saw. Well, second
No.
place. Meg,
the first place, yeah. No.
What was it?
I don't remember, but the bags were like,
Rowana?
Suitcases.com
Ro-
storefront.
No, there was this. I'm assuming it's a German company that had very nice suitcases that
Okay.
they wanted $2,500 for one. So
So then we went to North Face.
Was it Velarado,
no, it was Rwanda or something.
Globetrotter, or Nuremberg? That's another place. I'm just Googling suitcase shops in Nuremberg.
Ramoa.
Ramoa.
Ramoa suitcases.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they treated us like you would expect a place that has $2,500 suitcases.
Yeah.
you
Like
don't
they
belong.
look up at us and they're like, "Can I help you?" No? Okay.
Goodbye. Avita saying.
And then I went back with Richard Gere and I was like, big mistake, big mistake.
With our North
And
Face
held up
bags.
my 2 North Face bags.
Very nice.
None of that happened.
No.
Okay, so then I skipped out on dinner because I didn't have any clothes to wear, but
Yeah.
the boys did.
So we went to a place called Sky Bar, which we were told originally it was sushi. I don't know who gave us that information.
It was the weirdest
Sushi
place.
in Germany sounds like not the greatest idea.
Well, that's what I was saying. They don't even, where, is there, how do they get to the ocean there?
Yeah. Was it? Sushi?
So what was
no,
it?
no, it wasn't. It was like just traditional, not traditional, but like,
I don't remember what we were eating.
to be honest, me neither. I think it was just a lot of
Like
appetizers.
a meat plate.
Yeah.
Everybody loves dried meats over there.
It was like a pasta salad thing. That was an appetizer. We had
Yeah.
chicken for dinner. It was like chicken and mashed potatoes or
yeah.
something.
Yeah, you sent me a photo of them.
It was real basic. I even brought you some back to the
Yeah.
room, Meg. But the thing that was crazy about it, it was like, it was above a theater. Like it was almost like eating at like a, I don't like a mall.
Yeah, I was gonna say certain AMC
Okay.
theaters like have like that dining like experience.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like that a little bit.
Like you felt like pretty elite and rich. Sitting
No.
We were on the like the
Okay.
upper floor. We had like a nice like balcony that we were like me and Co were shooting some video there. But the way they had it like set up was like they
Did
had
you hear
like
the name drop?
Yeah, I did.
I did.
I did do it.
We're just shooting some
Michael
video.
Co.
Yeah.
With Co,
Yeah.
you know.
But
boy.
Coco. Coco. I'm
they
gonna start
laid-
calling him Coco.
Coco, yeah. They laid the appetizers out. I guess they didn't put them at the tables. They kind of just put them on the bar, and it was just like plates of food just lined up. And I don't think anyone was really sure. Like, do we just,
Do you
like,
just go grab it? What
bring
do
it to
you
a
do?
table? Like, I thought if they put it on the tables, like people just go and sit. But
So I was pretty tired at that point. So I grabbed Mega to go one. And did I bug out before you, or did you come with me?
I went. I was gonna stay for a little bit longer, but then I realized how tired I was. And I was
Yeah.
like, I should
An
probably.
Irishman in Germany
Yeah,
making an Irish exit, huh? Boof. Yeah.
we went.
Yeah.
And then the next morning we were up bright and early.
That was a long day.
The buses left at 8 a.m.
And is this the Roads to Records Day this day? Or
No. This is a.
Holy cow.
This is the day before
HQ.
that where we started out the morning doing a tour of the HQ, which was huge. So it was actually like a 3-hour,
We
2-hour
were on
tour.
our feet all day.
Yeah.
It looked like, just from the videos and reels that I saw you guys and other people post, it looked like, I think I said it looked like another country. Like
Yeah.
it looked like Rome, like you know how the Vatican and Rome is its own.
They have a
In Rome.
hotel and a kindergarten on campus.
Yeah, like yeah.
Of course they do.
It's
So-
a university. Like if
Yeah.
you,
Yeah,
but
it's a campus. Yeah.
It's like what they teach kids how bad Nike is, and as soon as they get into
No,
class,
they just know Adidas. That's all you wear.
they don't even know there is a Nike.
some brainwashing. Yeah.
But the thing is, the buildings are gorgeous. Like my favorite one was the one called Laces, and it's the one that you looked inside and it had like bridges going across the inside, and like the ceiling is like from the first floor up is what 100 feet, something like that,
Yeah, it was cool.
Beautiful. Yeah.
and it's just a gorgeous building.
Is it like? Did it feel like when you entered the chocolate room at Willy Wonka's, like that kind of?
No, that was the first
feeling?
one we went to. We went to the one. So you come in that building that you saw that I jumped over with Aubrey. That building is like the main entrance, like welcome to Adidas building. And then there's the records building, which had like a cafeteria and basically a museum and a big auditorium space.
Okay.
So and everywhere you went, Adidas was like, do you need any coffee or food? There were snacks and coffee everywhere. Like we probably had 4 or 5 coffees that day.
Yeah, you got coffee every like new area you walked into. It's like, here's an espresso or a flat. We ordered a lot of flat whites.
Okay.
But yeah, so then we toured the all morning and then we had lunch, which was like incredible. They have multiple cafeterias where they have all kinds of really good food.
I'd say the get go from the start, the energy was super high because
Yeah.
like everybody was so psyched to be there, and they're showing you the museum and you're seeing all this history and you're like, on like a next level. And then I felt like as the day went on, you just started getting more and more tired.
Well, especially for us, because we're on now, like day 5 of like nonstop,
Yeah.
like staying up too late,
dude.
getting up early,
Drinking.
And walking all day.
Drinking all
So then
night.
Not
after
hydrating properly.
after lunch, we were broken up into groups and kind of got to see what they did in lab testing with the athletes, and then how they sort of make the product and how they work with athletes and all sorts of cool stuff. That was one of my favorite parts, was just seeing like the process that the athletes go through, which you guys actually did the next day.
That was the coolest thing. But before we get to that, so we finished up the kind of like tour, and then there was going to be a shakeout run. Now the shakeout run,
When do we stop calling them shakeout runs?
I don't know.
So
There's
it's
a
group
run.
run.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
group
group
run.
run.
I was like, what are we shaking out for?
There's no, I don't know what else to call
Or
them.
else break records.
No, I get it. I
Yeah,
get it.
but it was one of those, Robbie, that I think everybody was so pumped up, and you're wearing like Takumi Sens, and there's athletes from
Yeah,
Africa.
you want to look good.
It wasn't even that you want to look at it. It was like herd mentality. Like we took off, and like the pace was like 7s from the get. Now my
Carl almost ran a 5K PR.
yeah,
I almost did.
my first mile looked a little slow because we jogged over to the where we were meeting for the run. So my first mile was like 8:20 or something like that.
Okay.
And that's including when we took off for like once we started running. So we're on like a dirt road, and the manure smell.
Dude, it was bad.
Really? They're into that?
Dude, it was so
rough.
hard. It was like I've smelled manure like pig shit and all that
Yeah.
stuff. This was probably the worst smelling manure, and we're running through it and breathing deep and just sucking it in.
Is it like a chicken plant?
No,
That's
it's
one
It
of
was just
in the
farmland.
summer.
pasture. Yeah, just like pastures and
just
stuff.
farm.
No,
I
I
mean,
was
it's
saying,
beautiful, but like
it smell as bad as a chicken plant in summer.
A chicken plant smells better. This
Really?
smelled like someone took.
I don't know, dude.
This one
I don't
smelled
know.
like someone took real
It
feces.
wasn't that bad.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't that
was
bad.
bad. It wasn't
It
that
was.
Okay. Are you sure it wasn't your?
What I thought was
I was
worse.
running behind Carl. Maybe that. Was
What I
Carl.
thought was worse than that was that it started to snow/hail, and they
right at
wanted
the
to
beginning.
do a warm up before we started running. So we're freezing cold,
And they're
and they're
bring out
hyping
their
everyone up
cheerleaders.
and making us do some warm ups before we start
Yeah,
jogging.
and I keep saying, "Let's go, let's
Yeah.
go, let's go." But they're like, so
They're
there's
making a thing of it.
Two different groups there. We had the people that were from like media. You had influencers, and we kind of straddle both. And then you have the Adidas running people that they had there. So Adidas running, they're just like running enthusiasts, they like group runs and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So they normally do some sort of like hype up, ringing cowbells.
Right.
Here, we're gonna do these stretches, high knees, low knee. What we're used to. We're
Yeah,
used to
it's
get
just-
there and let's go.
Let's skip the BS. Let's
Yeah.
just run.
So that was a little rough because it was late on for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, and like it just kept hailing. The wind just kept blowing, and we're all cold and just like.
And here's what
go.
I'm dealing with. You know Megan, her tolerance and patience.
Oh, mm-hmm.
it's wonderful.
Yeah. She wanted to lead, like, let's just go for a run and skip the group run. And
Okay.
I was like, no, we're here. We should do it with the group. So when they're doing this warm up stuff, that
Oh yeah, she's
Meg's looking at me like, this is why I didn't want to be here.
dagger. You can almost see the daggers.
Yeah.
I walked away from them. I was like, I'm gonna go. Just
Oh yeah,
like,
especially
hang
at the
out
end of stressful 4 days, tensions are probably high.
Yeah. It was
I don't know.
good.
I'm just guessing.
So
I would be like that.
we end up starting the run, and it starts off pretty hot, and we start going on like a dirt. I didn't know that we were gonna be running on like dirt,
Yeah, no, me
Takumi
neither.
Sens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
and it was just one of those things. Not like anybody said, "Hey, let's go fast," but you just kind of found yourself like in like an amoebus group that was just like, "This is the pace we're going." So I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this seems a little spicy, but we'll just hold."
yeah,
Well, and the pros took off at like a 6-minute pace.
yeah.
And everyone was chasing them. That was part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is our slow run.
Yeah.
We're gonna run at 6 minutes.
And I was like upset because I was like, this is probably faster than I'm going to run the 5K. But we got done with that, and we were pretty cooked at that point.
Yeah. So then we went back to the hotel and showered and then went to dinner. Is that what happened?
Yeah, which was
It
nice.
was fancy dinner.
It was fancy dinner,
Oh, yeah,
so
in the
we
hotel.
yeah, Yeah, it was in the hotel, which was good. Like, yeah. And that was nice. That was a nice time.
Yeah, that was good dinner.
So tell me about the Road to Records. What's the deal with that?
Well,
Because
that was
they
the
do
next
this every
morning.
year, right?
Was that the next morning?
No, so we had a whole
Oh,
nother
whoa.
day on
Yeah,
campus where
yeah.
they did lab testing.
Hail.
And
And-
You're skipping the whole day.
yeah, there's a whole day you're missing. So we
this
go
is
back
Thursday, Friday.
and I wasn't going to do the lab testing at first, but then I was like, oh, you don't have to sit through a panel. So I was like, and then I found out you're also testing new shoes that weren't out.
Yeah.
So then I was like, all right, I'm signing up.
okay.
Yeah.
So we're waiting the night before because
Yeah.
they didn't tell you if you got a spot or not. So Carl is trying to decide whether or not he's going to drink
Oh, this was
or
great.
not drink.
Because I'm enjoying myself having some wine, and they're
Oh,
all
I'm
like,
definitely
"Am I gonna
drinking.
Be?
I'm
yeah,
definitely
he was
drinking.
going drink for
But
drink.
I'm like,
with
do
me,
I
but
go
questioning it?
even
Yeah.
harder?
And I didn't go hard, but here's the thing. You could have gotten plastered. The test had nothing to do with
I thought
your
it was,
fitness.
yeah, I thought it was going to be like
A
someone
VO2.
mentioned VO2 or
Yeah.
like that you'd be
gosh.
running hard. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys even mentioned.
They gave a VO2 score to me, but I don't understand how they gave
I don't know
that
because
VO2
you
score.
didn't even push.
I
Like,
don't think any of us even know what a VO2
how much
test
oxygen you're
is.
using, but
I always think I'm going to get tested for VO2, and then they're like, no, you're just this like slow.
Yours
just a
is probably pretty good.
Medium-sized runner.
No, you're probably-
We also got our ages done, and I was super psyched because I'm biologically 38 years old, and I was like, yes. And
Maybe
then
I'm gonna
Carl,
check the algorithm on that formula.
Yeah, they said Carl was
Carl,
17.
17.
yeah, my bio.
okay.
Which I think they were factoring in the amount of alcohol that they were able to tolerate beforehand, which checks out.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
but I mean, I'll take it.
So will I.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I think Co and Drew
oh.
were in their 20s.
Time out. Does anyone ever get on that thing and they're like, actually,
Yeah.
you're 80?
They
Yeah,
did.
they
I
did.
asked.
There
I
was-
asked
yeah.
somebody. I was like, and she goes, and she's German, and she says, I said, does anybody get on here and their age is old? And she goes, it happens from time to time. And she goes, they most likely need to lose weight.
Oh, nice. You don't beat around the bush over
No,
there.
well, you know how Germans are. They're just very direct.
If you'd lose some weight, you'd get younger. So the thing was, that was unnerving because, so you go into the lab and Carl came in after me. So luckily he didn't have to witness this, but I'm in there with Aubrey and stuff. And you go in and there's no beating around the bush. They're like, take off your clothes and
Whoa.
put this on. And so
Sounds.
I'm stripped down to just, they give you split shorts, but then they take the split shorts and tie it up on the side so that they can see as much of your leg as possible.
Yeah, it sounds
You're
like
basically wearing a speedo.
sounds a little blackmailish if you ask me.
Well, wait. So then,
You
I did
consented
not
to
do
this.
this.
yeah,
I opted out.
you get into the 3D scanner, and you saw on my Instagram the 3D scan thing,
Yeah.
which, yeah.
And you're like, it's bigger than that.
Actually, I was glad things were smaller.
I told him he has a mangina.
Yeah. In the scan, they
Clarify that.
They smooth some things out.
yeah.
Anyway,
render, it's a render.
So you're standing there in front of like 10 people, basically in your underwear, like first thing in the morning. Put this on, take this off, get your clothes off.
So no shirt.
no shirt.
No shirt.
No shirt. They put tape over
Right?
your nipples
I'm
because
not in
there's
that.
Awkward.
They
some
put all
reason
these
the scanner-
motion sensors all over you and stuff.
Yeah.
So
But then after you did the scanning of your whole body, they take you to this guy who takes a portrait of you.
it's like GQ for
He's like, can you
Adidas testing.
turn your chin this way, put your arms down.
Naked.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's got a full blown backdrop. He's got the lights with the softbox. Like he's got a full tethered
This
laptop.
is with the shorts on still?
This is with
Yeah.
everything on.
I was
It's
going to
just
say,
like-
okay.
Well, no, not everything. Nothing on.
That-
But you
that's
still
what I
have
meant.
split
Yeah.
shorts on or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
that's it.
Okay.
So
Not totally nude.
I was wearing a base.
Not like
Dude,
Rose
no
Titanic
way. I know what they're
style.
doing with that stuff.
Listen,
There's no way.
I was wearing
There's-
a baseball hat.
Yeah.
So not only like my hat's off, my hair's all flat. I'm standing there naked. The guy's like, okay, here's full body portrait photos, and I'm like, okay.
How good was your posture at that time?
I tried to make it good.
Dude, I would have been standing straight as an arrow trying to
Yeah.
suck in my gut.
They told in the scan room, they're like, put your arms to your side. I felt like Aaron Azar. They're like, put your hands to the side. They have to be away from your body and stuff like that. And then I still somehow, I saw my scan. I'm like, how come I have one arm that's bent this way?
Yeah.
But you get done and then they take you to another room in front of another group of people.
Yeah, this I don't like
And
this.
they put you on the treadmill. Like Megan would have, I don't care. Megan, you would have hated this.
I know. That's why I didn't do it. I would have been mortified.
Get on the treadmill and they have you first run. So it was like was it 3-minute intervals or 6 minutes?
It was 5,
Oh, 7.
7. I don't know.
I think it's 7-minute intervals where you would get on the treadmill. They harness you in. They put the oxygen.
Put the heart rate monitor on you and
The
everything.
Bane mask.
Yeah.
Bane mask.
And you get on the treadmill. And so the first one I did in the shoes I came with, and that day
That's your test
I was
shoe. Yeah,
wearing
that's
the
your
Ultra
shoe.
Boost 20s or something, or I forget which one it was, that I'd just been wearing casually, which, by the way, you're welcome to the hotel staff who got those.
Oh.
And then you do that, you come off, and then they start the test. They gave us 3 different shoes, 2 versions of, I don't know, I'm supposed to say it. They were the new
They're prototypes.
the prototype of maybe what's going to come out from Boost in the Boost line. And by the way, they're fantastic. Like, they felt amazing.
Okay.
You get on, you do the first one, get off, and then they ask you some questions about your perceptions of the shoe.
Okay.
Then you put on the other shoe, you do it again for 7 minutes, come off, give your perceptions of that shoe. And then they had one wild one that was like something we'd never seen before from Adidas. And
Oh.
we tried that one.
Wow.
And you gave your perception. What did you think?
Yeah, I thought. Well, so you actually got to talk. Who did you talk to at the end?
So at the end, I was talking to this guy, Harry, the whole time, who was a awesome dude who's in the design. Like, he's just in the design side of things. And we were talking, and they decided that they wanted Stani, who is the head of the department.
Oh, he's not a James Bond villain.
No, he is from Russia, though. He came out, and they asked if I would do a special sit down with him while he recorded my feedback. So
Were you still only in split shorts?
no, at that time I had taken off the split shorts.
Oh.
I was just in.
He allowed you to be clothed for
No,
the interview?
I was completely naked.
Completely naked. Yeah.
We did it in the hot tub. No, it was kind of funny because Aubrey and I had been buds online for a while now. And after a run, they're like, you can go take a shower. And I'm like, I guess I should rinse off. I'm going to be walking around campus the rest of the day. So I go in there. And first off, they didn't give you a towel. So I'm like, great. So I'm in there. Aubrey's coming out of the shower. I'm about to go in. I'm like, Aubrey, did you ever think of all those conversations we had online that we would be naked
yeah.
together in a shower in Germany?
Yeah.
And no, but then I was showering. I was getting out, and he was finishing up. He's like, Thomas, can I ask you a favor?
Like
In
just
here?
normal, just conversation.
Yeah, like he's like, can I ask you a favor? I'm like, in here? And he's like, well, yeah, I guess I can wait till we get out. But he just wanted to shoot a video, like our thoughts on the
Not
In here?
not in the shower.
Oh.
yeah, not in the show.
Oh.
But yeah, but it's kind of crazy. You do think like, here's a dude I've been following online. We've had him on the podcast.
Yeah.
And we're in Germany. Like, what are the chances?
We'd be nude together.
Turns out 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Meant to
fate.
be.
He said it was his bucket list, and he checked it off.
To get in the shower
Yeah.
with Thomas.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's a lot of people probably.
Well,
Right.
next time you got to go to
Yeah,
Germany
stay
with Thomas.
tuned. Stay tuned for the Great Grand Prize, Summer Great Grand Prize. We'll announce it next week. Not related at all.
All right, final check-in. Oh, hot weather running. You got to adjust your attitude because the paces are going to slow a little bit. Just remember that when it cools off again in the fall and you're running for those marathon times or whatever race you're doing, all the summer training in the heat will pay off. So stay going, stay positive, and even if your splits seem to get a little bit slower, you know why.
All right, guys. Our next sponsor is Lagoon Pillows or Lagoon Sleep. Which,
And we were talking about Cheribundi having a sleep with the melatonin.
Yeah,
We
didn't
mix these
get
two products together.
we didn't get a lot of sleep over the past 2 weeks. In fact, my average time was like 4.5 hours.
I know, that was crazy.
which I didn't love.
Wow.
But
My phone congratulated me on getting 8 last night.
yeah, we came home to our Lagoon Pillows and have since had 2 very lovely nights of sleep.
Deep sleep.
Yeah, so if you are not familiar with them, go to lagoonsleep.com/believe, and that's the page that's our page for them. So it has the discount code on there, which is you just use code BELIEVE for 15% off. But also there's a link on there to take the quiz so that you can get the perfect pillow for yourself, which we've all done. We all have them. use
Oh,
them
does
every
Carl
night.
have one?
I do not.
Oh
Come on,
man,
we need to get Carl.
We gotta get
again.
Carl a Lagoon pillow.
To take the quiz.
Yeah, take the quiz. Let us know what happens. Yeah, it's
Has anybody failed the quiz?
you can't fail.
Yeah, they just.
You always
we
get
don't
a
have a pillow for you.
No, you'll
Idiot.
You'll get the pillow that best suits your sleeping style. So that's like whether you sleep on your side or your back, or you run hot or cold. They have a custom pillow
Hot
for you.
blooded. Check it and see.
All right,
Got
so
a fever of 103.
go to lagoonsleep.com/believe. Use the code BELIEVE for 15% off your first purchase. There's also a couple other cool offers on there. So you can get like a performance pack, which has a bunch of cool stuff. So yeah, go check it all out. Okay, but so the next day was the actual reason for this whole coming together, which was the Road to Records. And they had a 10K, 5K, mile, and 800 race where they were legit trying to break world records.
Men's and women's. And the loop is around the campus. And the campus is flat
Yeah. Pancake flat.
until you have to run it. And then it's slightly
It's
uphill.
like slightly uphill, and you're like, wait a
and
minute.
a wind.
Wait, it's not a track or anything. It's like a
No,
road.
No, it's a road.
It's a road.
Yeah, so this was road
So it actually
records.
is road to records.
Yeah.
It was incredible, though. It was set up like any event that you'd ever seen. Like there was fencing all around it. There was sponsors. Red Bull was having people jump out of planes.
Yeah, they did doing
Wait,
bike
really?
flips.
They had
yeah.
a beer garden.
They love Red Bull there.
Food trucks.
Oh, man,
trucks,
these are my
yeah.
people.
And I will say the weather that day.
Ooh.
See, here's the
It's
problem.
a double-edged
Here's
double-edged
the-
sword here.
Yeah, so it was rainy and dreary the whole time, which would have been horrible for us standing around spectating.
Yeah.
But just like all the races that we've done recently, this day pops up, blue sky day,
Pure sun.
70 degrees.
70
Like
degrees.
beautiful. Amazing.
Nice.
Amazing.
In a
and we're
way.
not running until
2
2
p.m.
p.m.
Oh, perfect.
So we're standing there, like you get to be on your feet. You get like we're going all the way from Venice to Italy. We've been on our feet every day, touring, doing all this stuff, group runs, all that.
Shoe testing.
And we're supposed to do a 5K
As hard as you can.
as hard as you can.
I
And
chose not to.
Well,
do
you don't
that.
have to,
Yeah.
but you're
I mean,
there. Like,
Yeah. So we watched the records. And by the way, man, when you see a dude doing 800 like race on the road,
Yeah.
and you get to see him, it's
They
like
are
watching.
flying.
It's
Yeah,
like
it's
watching
crazy.
horses run by you. It
It's
was like the
nuts.
steeplechase. I don't know. It was like I didn't know humans could run this fast.
And there were a bunch of national records broken and age groups, so under 20 records broken. And then they actually did break the men's mile world record with a 3:54, I think, which was 2 seconds faster.
Do you know who the person?
I do.
He was from Canada, right?
Did Hobbs Kessler run?
Yeah.
he did
Oh, what was he? Was he in the mile?
800, right?
Oh, okay.
No.
The Tin Man Elite guy was there too. Reed Fisher.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was in the 10K.
Yeah. Man, it's crazy to see that he's probably running sub 5 minute mile on the 10K. I don't know what he's running, but and he was back like
Yeah.
300 yards
Yeah.
from the lead group.
Right.
And now, when you guys ran your 5K, were they trying to break a record like a London Marathon Guinness record, like for like best time ever for 4 YouTube reviewers with under 100,000 subscribers who are from Maryland?
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah. good
Yeah,
job.
we won, so
We
got
crushed
that record.
it.
Crushed it.
I will tell you, we went out and we all went out hot, super hot.
Well,
Very hot.
We were at the front of the race. We were maybe 3 rows back from the start, and there's
You will
dudes
be
there
proud
that
that
are
we
running
got-
15-minute 5Ks.
Yeah, but we did get put in the first
There
wave.
were 2 waves, yeah.
So we were in the faster wave, but we went out blazing.
Yeah.
I think our first quarter mile was probably 5:20.
Yeah, I was hitting 530s.
No, we were doing 6.
You guys maybe not.
Well,
I was,
so I
for
put my
sure.
watch in case because I was pacing Aubrey,
Yeah,
and
so
he
you
wanted
don't
to do
know.
a 4:24.
I looked
5:30
down at my watch and I was like, there was a 5 in front of the number. I'm like,
Why is that happening? Like,
Yeah.
why are we doing that?
So I was like, I'll slow down a little bit. And it was dry.
Dry air for sure. Very.
And I had been drinking water all day, so I don't know how this happened so quick, but my throat was like scratchy.
Oh, no. Did you cough up blood again?
No, but I did. It was the craziest thing. So it was 2 loops, which was a relief because when we first started running, I thought we were doing 3 loops around but they added for us amateurs, they added like an extra like out loop. So we were doing 2, which makes sense because like the pros you want to see a bunch of times.
Yeah.
These us people,
Who cares
like, let's
about
get
us?
this
Yeah.
over with. So you go out, but the extra bit was on a slight uphill grade with wind coming at you. So it hit at just a point where you were just like that mid part of the mile where you're like, oh, please, can this be over? And it's like wind and a slight uphill. But then you got to turn around and start coming back. But, I mean, you were running. At one point, I was trying to keep up with Megan. She was pacing Aubrey to his 5K PR. And where I could see
Aubrey, we're 1K in. How are you feeling?
It's a little tough. I can feel the heat.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting these conditions, but we got this.
and where I could see them, like I was probably like, for the most of in the beginning of the race, I was with them. Then I ran up in front of them and I was like, I'm going too hot. Slow down. They passed me and I was just like, I'm not going to be able to hang. I'm just going to run. And I thought Matt from Adidas was behind me, but I was like, if I slow down and wait for him, and then what if he comes in and he's feeling great and then I slow down to wait for him and then he passes me?
Yeah. I don't know. I was just going to run it as like a fun run thing, but throughout the entire trip, Thomas just kept saying like, I think you can go sub 20. I think you can go sub 20.
I do think you can.
I know.
And then we got your results that you were 17 and you were like, I can go.
I was like, I definitely could probably go sub 20. But anyway, Drew was like, I think he was trying to do sub 20 also. So he was like, if you want me to like pace you or whatever, I was like, all right.
Repeat of Boston, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we did like the first, like, I would say quarter mile and he was like flying still. And then like, I just ended up losing him real quick.
Okay.
And it was just like not happening. I was even like, I told Thomas, I was like, I kind of want to DNF right now. I kind of just want to like pull off and like
there was
not
a
even,
point where you're like, you can't.
It's dry, it's hot, you can't breathe.
You can't drop
So
out of a 5K.
did you not get a sub 20?
I definitely did not get a sub 20.
Did you PR?
No, I was 13 seconds off,
Oh, that's
which
still
isn't
pretty-
bad considering the week that
for
we just
sure,
had. You
for
know,
sure.
like-
No, I think if you add up everything, the travel, the heat and stuff, my time it wasn't the greatest, but I gave it everything I had. And I felt like if you were going to adjust it for everything that we were doing between the food, drinks, travel, all that stuff, we've been on our feet like nonstop.
Yeah.
Faster or slower than 30 minutes? I'm just kidding.
No, I did. Mine was 23 minutes.
That's
And-
pretty. That's pretty good for all that.
Yeah. And then
would've-
Aubrey and you finished at 22, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So Aubrey PR'd, which I like so impressed with
That's awesome.
being able to do that in
Yeah.
those conditions.
Yeah.
And he
was
said
on
he
his,
was hurting.
He was on his feet like us and was out with us. And just like could not believe that he was working hard and like,
I don't
gutted
think
it
he
out
was
at the
going to give
end.
up on. I think that his thing was like he went in there like I'm going to get a PR, and I think he wanted it for video content, so I think
for
he was
sure.
going to get it.
Yeah, so
But
I
think that-
held his video camera
Okay.
and filmed him the whole time.
That's cool.
and
which
I
was
think
fun.
that he would not quit because of Meg. Because like when I ran past them in the beginning, I was running with him, and I was like, I pulled up by about 15 feet, and I was like, I better come back to them. And I thought at that point, oh, this is going to be easy. I'll just hang with them.
Yeah.
And that's when Megan was like, come on, we got to pick up the pace. And I was like, what?
That's cool though. That's a good motivator
Yeah.
for him.
Well, his
Yeah.
thing was too, he was like, well, he made a reel like maybe an
Mm-hmm.
hour before we towed the line.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, this is how you get a PR with your friends. And like, we did this whole like cool thing and he posted it already. Like
Oh
he
my
already
God.
posted
Yeah, he
it
put it
before.
out there.
And he was
Risky.
like, yeah, well, he was like, because I
mean,
did
it
that,
worked
I feel
out.
it paid off, I guess.
But he also said at like 3K, he was like, I was in my mind, he was like, I was ready to have to explain, well, we gave it a try. We did. And you know when you do that in
I
a
like
race.
his writing a
and
script during the race.
I do that. I think we all did the same thing. But he said, I think when I told him like we're more than halfway through, like you're on pace.
Yeah.
I think it was just like
See, that's the thing. Like, I didn't think about anything, but like, I was like looking for the signs. I was like, where's that 600 meter sign? Where's that? Oh, I'm going to run. Oh, God. Like, that's what the thoughts
Yeah.
were going on in my head.
And the back part of the course, you know, there was no crowd back there,
No.
which arguably was like the hardest part with the uphill and
Yeah.
stuff. So it got to the point where even when you got downhill and went through the crowd, like to me, it just didn't even matter.
Well, you were saying that you thought about, can I DNF? There was that part where I'm all the way in Germany. We're on the
Yeah.
100%. I'm like,
Adidas
we're on the
campus.
Adidas campus, and I'm like, we're at Road to Records. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna DNF a 5K here. Like,
But you're right. When I finished, Robbie, it was so dry.
it hurt.
I started coughing, and
We
I
all
couldn't
were
kick the cough, and I was like, okay, so wait a second. Every race that I've had that coughing, like the New York, the Charles Street
Yeah.
one, even the one in whatchamacallit, York. The temperature's a little warmer. My throat got irritated. I started coughing. I couldn't stop coughing. And I was like, okay, this one, it didn't affect my run at all because I was able to finish and I was fine. But the coughing afterwards was really irritating. And I'm like, okay, so I'm starting to figure this out. I think I just irritate my throat. And then at that point, I start coughing. And because it was a 5K, you're done before it's really going to affect you. But
Yeah.
in New York, I
yeah.
think it was like around mile 6 where I started just having like real difficulties. And I'm like,
Wait, so why did you not get that at Boston then?
that I don't know. I think
Yeah.
maybe it's an effort thing. Maybe I never really pushed as hard as
That's crazy.
like
But you've done like training runs that are.
I know. I don't know. That's the other thing.
a mystery.
So Coach Castor was like, well, has it ever happened in training runs? I'm like, no, it really hasn't. So I don't know.
After the race, we hung out for a little bit and watched all that Red Bull craziness happen for a little bit. And then they bussed us back to the hotel and we wanted to go have a traditional German dinner.
Yeah.
So Matt from Adidas took us to a place right across from the hotel and we all got Schnitzel.
Schnitzel. Nice. Did you
Which it turns out I don't like Schnitzel.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was
yeah.
pretty good.
Like everyone
I like the sausage better.
is always like, that's the thing
Sausage
you
is
got to
good.
get. It's so good. It's just fried meat.
It's a cutlet. It's just a fried breaded cutlet.
Like very underwhelming. Sorry, Germany.
Did you get any pretzels? Soft like
We got one at the
Bavarian
airport.
pretzels?
It wasn't that good though.
It wasn't that soft, right?
So it's no Annie Ann's. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Yeah.
I will tell-
Nothing is.
I
let's be
really
honest.
want one of the Oktoberfest pretzels, like the big giant
yeah.
one, and I want it to be like warm and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
That's
Yeah.
what. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Basically,
it looks like we are going to Berlin. So
Wait, weren't you already going to Berlin?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
but now it's more
Official.
official.
But now we are.
We were.
Are
and
you,
we
Robbie?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
6 stars, bro.
Am I running Berlin this fall? There's no way. If I'm doing a 4-hour pace group at Chicago,
When does Oktoberfest
there's
start?
no way.
Is it
It's
the week
during-
before?
No, it's the week of and during and after. I think
All
it's
right.
like
So,
yeah.
Robbie, you can come be our beer correspondent.
Okay. I don't know about that. Do I have to wear lederhosen?
Aren't you wearing some now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Hey,
mean, just
my
wear
uniform.
those. I did see a dude not trying to be ironic or anything, walking around in lederhosen. I think he literally like wears lederhosen, like was walking around.
Okay.
Robbie, I had in my notes here, which I forgot about, which I have to ask you. So before the race, they gave you in your package with your bib a bunch of Morton products.
Oh yeah.
One was the solid, and so we all ate that before the race.
Oh,
And Drew was
is this the question?
yeah.
Okay.
Drew was videoing himself being like, oh, we're all eating Martin, like being cool. And he dropped it on the ground. And we were all like, oh. And he picked it up and ate it. And he was like, come on, Robbie would have done that. So our question is, Robbie, would you have eaten your Morton bar off the ground?
A bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
chunk of the
you don't
bar.
understand. It's a sticky bar.
Like a chewy bar kind.
It like has if it falls
Yeah, I
on the
would.
ground, it's
You
gonna
know
pick
how
a
I
rock
know
up.
this? Because on Sunday, this exact same thing happened with the Cliff Bar.
See, the Cliff Bar though doesn't have.
It's sticky.
It's not quite as sticky.
It
like
picks
this.
up dirt. It picks up a lot of dirt.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this was like in the dirt.
Yeah.
Okay. You're still eating it.
I mean, what are the other options? Or is that it?
Yeah, not eating it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd probably still eat it.
Okay.
Did he like brush it off?
I'm not
assuming?
sure. I'm
Did he?
assuming.
Did he eat it?
He did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, dirt never hurt. I don't know. That's a kind of a motto I live by.
I don't know. Would you, Carl?
Probably not. Just because he didn't pick it up, like even if you did the 5-second rule thing, it was after he recorded and we were talking about it, and then he was like, "Oh, I could still probably." So
I mean,
it's been a
if
while.
it was like gritty, I don't do grit just because it's not like
I hate
including the
I mean, just think
leave
about
it
all the
under it.
shoes that have passed that area all day. It was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's if there sand is a no go always.
Yeah.
It's
Sand
just
is terrible.
impossible.
That's not
Can't
going to
do
do
that,
good
no.
things.
No, for sure.
It's just more the texture than the actual like contamination factor.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was in a space where all of us were walking and everybody's using porta potties. So in my
That's an interesting little
Additional
bit
piece
of information I didn't think about.
Yes.
so to me, there's no effing way.
Yeah,
I'm eating some
if
off
it's
that ground.
if it's within, I'd say like 10 yards of a porta potty, then I'm might have to question that logic.
Yeah.
No way.
How
And
about-
there was food that you could eat that
Okay.
wasn't on the ground,
Oh, okay, then that's
like
Just
fig
wasn't
bars.
a Morton bar.
yeah. Then
For a 5K, you
I'd
really
probably
need that
switch it
extra
up.
thing
Yeah,
of
I'd switch
oats
it up.
and sugar that come in.
So let me ask you about the trend of influencers being open and about everything. So have you seen literally documenting everything? So did you see the Matt Choi reel?
You sent it to me.
We talked about it.
He went into the porta potty at the Boston Marathon, videoing himself the entire time. Pretty close. There, you can see the reflection in his shields.
Of what?
Well, it was very dicey because he looked down at one point and he couldn't catch it. But I was like, "You're playing with fire." And then, but he left the porta potty without washing his hands or using hand sanitizer. And I was like, "Dude, you put that on video, man!" Like, because then think about all the high fives and everything coming after that. And now think about how many people during a race will dip into a porta potty and not. I'll say, as gross as I am, I do always make sure I wash my hands or sanitize after going to the bathroom. Which, dude, when you're in an airport, how many
Okay.
people just walk out?
All right.
Ew.
Like
It is pretty
I'd say
alarming.
it's like 30 to 40%
So-
of dudes just walk out.
I'm going to tell you something. If I'm in a porta potty at a race,
Yeah,
I'm usually yanking my short from the side
Yeah.
and letting it pop out the bottom.
same,
Yep.
same.
yeah.
I'm not touching anything.
Same.
I'm not
You
going
still have to touch the handle.
No,
Yeah,
no,
you
I
lock
do.
it in and
To
out.
lock
No,
it.
no, I'd use my elbow and hit the thing.
Doing
and then-
this?
Yeah, no, I just pop and hit the elbow to get out. And sometimes I'm wearing gloves because it's cold in the morning.
Yeah.
So like,
All I'm
yeah.
saying though is that I want to be. I feel like influencing has gone too far a little bit.
Yeah,
when,
100%.
Like, that
I'm glad
kind of
to see
stuff's-
that you'll eat something off the ground, but you have to wash your hands with that BS.
It's
That that stuff is nothing.
I'm being considerate of others. Considerate of others, not myself.
appreciate
I'm not
that.
considerate of myself. Considerate of others. Yeah.
Except for in your Japan.
I treat
Take off your mask.
I treat
and breathe
myself
on
as lesser than.
everybody.
I was liberating the Japanese people.
It's doing you a favor.
We were 2 days away for the whatever. I'm not even talking about this.
Oh,
I was
lot
right.
of smokers. And when we were eating our
man.
schnitzel, there was a table or something that was smoking near us. And I have to tell you, like, the funny idea that we joke around that smoking's coming back. Europe, man, we don't want it back.
No.
It smelled so bad when you're trying
Yeah.
to eat. Like I was almost getting nauseous. I was like trying to eat fried steak with someone blowing smoke. It was bad.
Taking
Yeah.
ginger shots or whatever, the
Oh,
schnapps
yeah.
that we had.
Yeah. We
Wormwood.
took pine sol to the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to give Matt credit. He went back and did 2 of them.
Yeah,
Wow,
he did.
That's true.
And I think
Champion.
so did Drew.
Drew? Yeah.
All right, so we finish up it after the restaurant, pack our stuff up. We're back on a plane. I mean, did anything exciting happen on this plane trip?
Not exciting. We did get delayed
Yeah, our
at
last
JFK.
leg from
We had to take
JFK
3
home.
flights, by
But
the way.
Robbie, you would have loved it. I went to sleep in Germany and woke up with a half an hour to go to land in New
No,
York.
Amsterdam.
What?
Oh, Amsterdam, and then woke up with a half an hour to go.
Wow.
He was knocked
I
out.
couldn't even watch a full show of anything.
It's
He
impressive.
was gone. Yeah.
I watched a whole season of Curb Your Enthusiasm. For
That,
real.
that would have put me to sleep.
Which season?
Season. It was the only one on there, season 10,
Okay.
which I hadn't seen yet, so
Nice.
pretty good.
Pretty,
Yeah,
pretty
we
good.
spent
Pretty
we
good.
spent more hours in JFK Airport than in the air for our flight home, but
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The flight home goes like this. And then you're done.
Oh Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which they also told us there'd be caterings on that flight.
Yeah, that's why we were so delayed, is because they
had to
were
do the
catering
catering.
the plane with food and snacks that were never given out.
Never
Nice.
distributed.
Very nice. Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
okay. We made it.
Yeah.
We made it back.
And that's basically it, right?
Yesterday
Yeah.
we worked from home, and most of it was doing laundry.
Same. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I can imagine. I don't even think I've done my laundry yet from the trip.
Yeah.
Just took it
My
out.
bag's not fully unpacked.
So satisfying to put the bags back in the
That's
closet. Like I
exactly,
got 2 bags
yeah.
in the closet, and I'm like, okay, yeah, there's clothes laying around, but the bags are in
The
the
bags are
closet.
good. The bags are good, so we're good.
Anything else we got going on right now?
We're heading to Brooklyn.
Yeah, thanks to Diadora and to Adidas for the very cool experiences.
Totally different vibe.
Yeah.
2 different companies, totally different vibe. And for those of you, you're like, hey, well, what do we get out of this? Well, the great thing is that when we go and talk to these companies, we get to see the product that are coming. We get to learn more about what's going to be under our feet. And it really gives us insight into what the shoe companies are trending towards, what they're trying to do. So it really helps us be more educated when we do get to the shoe reviews for you guys. So, and even be able to try some of the foams before they come out and hit the market was interesting to see the direction that we are thankful that companies are kind of like, maybe EVA isn't the best thing for daily trainers, and we're moving towards, supercritical foams, super foams, those types of better experiences for runners. So it's pretty cool.
Did you? That is the nice thing for sure. Sorry, I was thinking about the Brooklyn Half Marathon that you're running in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
And that's with the New York Roadrunners.
Yeah,
Not
and
to be confused.
New Balance and New York Roadrunners, and we're going to have a few events for you guys to RSVP to. So that link is not live yet, but when it is, we will share it. Thomas will be doing a live panel with guests to be confirmed, and then we'll be doing a shakeout run the Friday morning before the race. So
And we're
stay
gonna
tuned
have-
for those.
What are we going to have? 500 of a new hat that if you like the one that was in Boston,
You're
you're
gonna
going to
like
like
this
this one. Similar hat,
Wow.
different color. Doesn't say Boston, might say Brooklyn.
Did you hear about
Who
that?
knows?
Did you hear about that influencer that ran the other Brooklyn Half Marathon?
No.
Yeah.
And got called out. She banded it.
Yeah.
Oh, why
yeah,
did
I
you do
saw
that?
that.
Because she's fearless.
Is that the thing?
That was in her description, yeah.
Nice.
Fearless?
She said she wanted to show everyone how you could just like go out and do a half marathon, and she just jumped on the course and ran it.
And talked about how great she is for doing that.
Do people still like her?
No,
what do
they
you
did
think?
not.
She was she probably has more Instagram followers now. She wasn't even that. She had like 23,000 followers.
Yeah, I didn't know who she was until I saw the.
I don't know. How many followers do you need to call someone an influencer? Do you think 20,000 is enough?
Yeah,
Dude, I think
people
that's-
are like
that's-
enough.
people with like 5,000
yeah.
that call themselves influencers.
Yeah, but should you like?
No.
What's
I
the
guess-
bare minimum to be called an influencer? 10.
If the shoe companies are
At
sending you
least.
shoes, I guess you can call yourself an influencer.
I felt like 5 years ago, like 10,000 was enough. Now I
Yeah.
feel like it has to be like.
I feel like it should be like 50.
Oh, so there's one woman
kind of
that was on our trip.
But then Alex Hermanson doesn't have that many. I would say.
There was one woman that was on our trip that we were riding to the airport with. She had 3.7 million followers
What?
She was like on the cover of Cosmopolitan. She's just like she's like a fitness person.
from Mexico.
It's not
Yeah.
the runner girl, not that
No.
one from Europe.
Not
her
her.
No,
Yeah, okay.
she's from Mexico, right?
Yeah, Mexico
Yeah,
City.
Mexico
Wow.
City, yeah.
Isn't it? It's always weird to me that when you come across someone like that and you're like, I literally had no idea this person
Yeah.
existed, and yet they have like
3.7 million followers.
And she was
Yeah.
going to Lebanon with
I
like
don't know.
multiple suitcases to do like another like I don't know,
Jeez.
fitness thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, that's ridiculous. That's a whole nother level.
Thomas asked her like how she got there or whatever. She's like, lots of content.
Yeah.
But we still didn't see her Instagram, so I'm so curious of what the content
do
is.
you remember her name?
We weren't even introduced.
Matt could get it for
yeah.
us.
Let's
Okay.
figure it out.
But yeah, I mean, she's a an attractive fitness running.
Yeah, we asked her like what her content is around. It's like general wellness and
Yeah.
Okay.
health and stuff.
Yeah.
so.
Gotcha. Cool.
All right. I think we've dragged this one out long enough.
All right, we're not doing any sponsor stuff.
Yeah, we are, but he's gonna cut them in.
Okay.
So it's gonna be like check-ins.
All right, Alavida Zane.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao.